ATG back again with another review. This time for White Man Can't Jump, the Hulu movie you all been waiting for, the 2023 remake of the classic Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson movie that you didn't know you wanted, nor that you probably did need. I actually went into this kind of, I don't know. I mean, off the trailer, not really expecting anything. And I'm going to talk spoilers here, so this is going to be a spoiler review. You know, since this movie's already out, been out for a couple of days, so spoiler review. So this is, like I said, it's the movie you probably didn't know you wanted or needed, and you probably didn't at the end of the day. But let's just get into a lot of what made this movie work and didn't work. Let's get into some of the changes, casting, stuff like that. I'll talk about this. So, White Man Can't Jump, 2023. Last one was 92. Quite a bit of a difference, So for over 30 years since we both left. I'm not gonna say the word franchise, since we left that last movie. So I wouldn't consider this for me, this doesn't feel like a remake to me. This feels like a different movie using the same concept, but not exactly the same movie. Some of the same tropes, same things, but it doesn't feel like the same movie from '92. One of them being obviously the difference in the characters. Somebody say Spike Lee. Did Wesley Snipes' character, who's playing Sydney, Woody Harrelson, who's playing Billy. Those are not the two same characters that we have. In this one, we have Kamal and we have Jeremy. Jeremy being played by Jack Harlow, and Kamal being played by Sinqua Walls. And completely two different characters. And in this movie, we have Kamal, who has a shot to go to potentially go pro. He's like the next big thing. He loses it all in this movie by knocking out a fan, and winds up going to jail for a couple years over this assault that because he couldn't keep his temper. And that's pretty much like what they keep throughout the movie, is that he can't keep his cool. He doesn't know how to just walk away from a situation, yada yada. And when we have Jeremy in this movie, who also was supposed to go pro, was the next big thing, but then wound up getting injured. And that was what stopped him from getting into the best thing. And he is trying to find any way possible to get back to play basketball, get back in the league. He's potentially trying to go through stem cells, any type of injections, any pills, anything he can do to continue to play basketball, because his love for the game in this movie is so strong that he is able, he wants to keep playing by any means possible, even if that cost him his girl. I know in the original movie, the female lead counterparts, we had one played by Miss, I'm about to say Gloria. Her name was Gloria Rosie Perez, and we had Tara Farrell playing Gloria and Rhonda in the last movie. In this movie, they are totally different characters. Tiana Taylor is playing Rhonda's character. She's a completely different character in this movie. She's holding down her man, trying to save money, understanding he's going through what he's going through. They got a kid together. She's trying to get her money together so she can grow her business and get to the next big thing, while also trying to support her man's dreams. And we have Gloria Perez character played by, and I want to make sure I get this right. We have Laura Harrier we just recently seen her in Spider-Man Homecoming, who played Liz Allen. She is playing Tatiana in this. This is Jack Harlow's girlfriend in this. She is a dancer looking to go professional here, and she's getting calls around the world to go big. She's still holding down her man, supporting what he wants to do, until he finally realizes that, look, she is what he needed all along, XYZ. Now, got that out of the way. We got the characters, some of the differences. Let's talk about some of the acting, some of the basketball, right? So the acting from our two leads, I would say, is pretty good. I'm surprised to say Jack Harlow actually did a pretty good job. Jack Harlow actually acting was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. He actually came in and did a pretty good job. As much, I'm not sure what his balling skills are like in real life, but he actually was killing it on the court a little bit. Now, they probably used that in his story to kind of not have him do as much because his character is injured, so he doesn't have to be as flashy as Kamal. Kamal still has his prime. He never got injured. He still has the potential to go big. Kamal's character, also his father, played by Lance Reddick, who this is one of his last movies. We just saw him in John Wick. His father, was, after that mom left, was the thing that encouraged him to keep playing basketball, because that was something that they both had in common together. They both loved the game, and you definitely see it. That kind of the chemistry between those two characters, like they really kind of gave you a real father-son vibe, and I liked it. I liked the pairing for that one. Like I said, just major differences. Like I said, it's just a completely different movie. Like, for you to even compare those, like this, the 92 to this one, it's really hard, because again, it's two different stories here. I mean, we talking in the original Gloria, played by Liz Harrier. Her character Gloria is going to play Jeopardy to win money. This nowhere near anywhere near the same storyline as that. So, like I said, going into this, if you're thinking like, oh man, this is just a copy, it's really not. It's almost, like I said, it's just a almost different movie with the same concept. Like I said, completely different motivations, completely different characters all together. I mean, the only thing that they really have in common in these movies is the fact that they're hustling to play basketball, XYZ, but everything else is completely different. Like I said, Sinqua Walls, like I hope I'm saying that right, Sinqua, it's like Sinqua Walls. His character, Kamal, he does a pretty good job. Now, I feel like he's probably, out of everybody in this movie, he was probably slightly the weakest, I think, in the acting department. It was some scenes where I feel like he just wasn't selling it enough for me. Some of his, like, anger issues and the flare-ups, like it just wasn't doing anything for me. But like I said, I was surprised Jack Harlow, I mean, self-endorsement aside of his own soundtrack of the movie, they did a pretty good job. I mean, I thought the basketball in this was pretty good. Tiana Taylor looking good as she needs to look in this movie. She does a pretty good job. This is not her first time acting, so I'm not really surprised about that. We got Vince Staples, Miles Bullock. We had Jay Alphonse. You probably know him from P Valley. He's in this as the same character. Like, he can get typecast and he can do other roles. Blake Griffin and so many other characters. Like I said, I really like this. I think one of my biggest issues, is like, I wish that some of the kind of compilations of like them playing basketball, like some of the games they were hustling, I wish we could have got a little bit more detail on that. I feel like they were kind of rushed through with like no actual conclusions as to what actually happened. Obviously, they won the game because they got to the big tournament, but in this movie, they get to the big tournament and they lose. They choke. They both completely lose all the money that they had riding on the line. Then they had to put up like what, $2,500 for the team. So they, both of their girls are relying on this money, and they pretty much just lose the tournament. So they get to the big tournament, and they lose, and they wind up blaming each other after hustling the ball for it, hustling everybody to get the money, and then they wind up losing. And then conveniently, there is another tournament, which is 3-on-3, which is even more prize money at the end. Now, they do wind up winning at the end of it all. No surprise there as the story goes. But in this one, it's Kamal and his friends, and Jeremy is now the alternate in case one of them gets hurt. Jeremy gets hurt on the court. He gets hurt on the court again, and but he still put in the work. And that was the biggest thing. So they wound up winning. Jeremy and Kamal winds up becoming friends in this, which I really, really liked. I really liked that they actually developed the friendship as they were playing, because they have kind of similar background stories, and we can kind of see like, Tiana Taylor's character is like really pushing for Kamal to have a friend, and even though he has friends, which is weird, but she's pushing for him to have a field that understands what he's going through. Oh, and Lance Reddick dies, by the way. Like that was like a mile away coming. His father dies. I guess he had cancer. He was sick. And he dies like during the final game, and he, after talking to Jeremy and learning new tricks and meditation and learning to calm himself so he doesn't like knock the next person out. he's able to calm himself and kind of get through that last game. They win the game winning shot, and it was like $100,000 that they wound up winning, and pretty much changes everything. Kamal winds up, after that tournament, puts him in a brand new light, and that pretty much gets him back into the NBA. Tiana Taylor winds up getting her shot. Jeremy winds up pretty much being done with basketball together and just continues to just coach new people into the game. Him and Tatiana wound up getting. So I like this. I like this ending a lot more than I think I did with the original. And I don't say like the original was like dark or anything, but I like that this one had a more of a positive, lighter note. So after all that, everybody's still cool. Everybody still got to take care of. So I do like the ending for this one more. They played up the comedy a little bit more in this one, which I liked. Some jokes that didn't exactly go, they didn't hit me, at the first listening to them. But like I said, it was still pretty funny. Everybody did a good job here. Would this be something that I would have watched in the movie theater? No, I think this is exactly where it needed to be on stream. Not to say that they couldn't have made it in the movie theater, but I do think that it was perfect for this particular medium, and it just works. Like I said, going into this, don't think about this trying to replace that original movie, because I think that movie is still a classic. It stands on its own. It's still one of the best between Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. One of their best movies for sure, and they can actually ball in real life, which was the crazy thing. I'm not sure like how much skill Jack Harlow picked up, or Sinqua, picked up like doing this, but they did a pretty good job with the basketball stuff, because it's only with so much of that you can fake. But they did a pretty good job. But like I said, overall, I did enjoy the movie. It was fun. I probably won't watch it again, but it was fun. Pretty predictable. It's like I said, where you can see everything going. But I do like how it ended. With Kamal getting back and getting to the NBA, and Jeremy getting his life where he needed to go, realizing that his girl is after all that she sacrificed and he got his mind right and focused in on that. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, like I said, White Man Can't Jump 2023, I do think it's worth checking out. So like an hour and some change of your time, definitely not a waste here. But like I said, don't go into this thing in that it's trying to replace the 92 movie. It feels like a completely different movie with the same concept, completely different characters, different motivations, everything. So get that out of your head. It's still a fun watch. I did enjoy it, because I was definitely like, they didn't need to make this, and I was wrong. I enjoyed it. Jack Harlow came in and did a good job. Check it out. It's on Hulu. Ain't gonna cost you nothing. I appreciate you for watching this. Let me know what you think after you watch this in the comments below. And do you want a part 2? No, I don't need a part 2, but let me know what you think about the movie, and where you if you see this going anywhere else after this. You want to see more Jack Harlow. But anyway, just leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time for another review. See you.